Right, chat. The man, the myth, the legend himself. I'm going to go ahead and go through. This is going to be my long-awaited PvP video. We're just going to go ahead and start with the gear. So I'm running 3 heavy, the head, the chest, the legs, the big pieces, and all of those are going to be reinforced, as you can see here. I have all my big pieces are reinforced. One here, one here, one here. And then I have 3 medium as well, 3 heavy, 3 medium, and 1 light. That way I can get my undaunted passives, but it also keeps me a little tankier. So you can see I'm running 3 reinforced on my big pieces, and then I'm running 4 well fitted and a divines. You can see I got 2-piece blood spawn, and that's given me, I like the 1 piece almost always just because of the stamina recovery. I like, even though I'm a magic character, I like to have the stamina recovery. I'll show my stats and stuff here in a little bit. But then when I take damage, I'm also getting resistance and ultimate back. And so it's just a really nice PvP, just to be a little bit tankier. And then of course I'm running the 5-piece shackle breaker. I love resources when I'm fighting. This gives me a little recovery, a little spell and weapon damage, and a little bit of max. And then I'm also running the 5-piece spinners. So I'm running 5-piece spinners, 5-piece shackle, 2-piece blood spawn. You're gonna get a lot of penetration out of your spinners. I like to go infused on my restoration staff because I use that weapon and spell damage glyph, and so like when I, for instance, when I go to do my damage, I'll be buffed up, and then I'll always usually light attack on my back bar and then switch to my front bar to go full open mode, and then periodically switching back to my back bar to get that light attack in so I can get my glyph buff. So that's just one way I get a little boost in my damage. Let's see here. I'm doing all 3 arcane. If you wanted to be a little faster, you could throw swift or protect it, you know, if you wanted to get a little tankier. But I just like resources, honestly. So max magic's fine for me on these. But you can see I'm doing 2 magic recovery and then 1 stamina recovery. So let's see, what else do we got here? We got on my 3 big pieces, I'm also running a tri-stat glyph, just to maximize on my resources. Then on all the small ones, I'm just doing max magic. You can see here I got 36 points into magic and 28 points into health as my attributes to get my stats where they are. And I'm using the lover. You can see here I got for my blue CP tree, I'm running Master at Arms, which increases my damage done with direct damage attacks, because pretty much everything you do with a magic sorcerer is going to be direct damage. Then Deadly Aim for single target damage. I got Swift Renewal to increase my healing done with heal over time, so that's going to buff my vigor when I heal. And then Ironclad reduces the damage taken by direct damage attacks by 3%. And then also coupled with, let's see, Relentlessness, being stunned or feared causes you to gain major protection for 3 seconds, reducing your damage done. I really like that. Just another way to get major protection when you get stunned. It's just you know, you're always going to get feared, stunned. If you've ever PvP'd, you're constantly breaking CCs, and so while you're stunned or feared and you can't do anything, at least you get a little more tankiness and can break out of that and try to heal up. Survival instincts, while affected by status effects, my core combat skills are going to cost less. That's just going to help with sustain, and you're always under status effects in PvP now. If you PvP at all, you know that. Sustained by suffering increases your health, magic, and stamina recovery while under effects of a negative effect. Again, I'm almost always going to have that extra 150 stamina, magic, and recovery when I'm in a battle. And then I just like to get that extra health You could swap that one out with other things if you wanted to, but I just like to get that extra health. It helps me get my health around. I like to be just above 30k is fine for me. I mean, if you're going to get one shot by a Nightblade, you're going to get one shot by a Nightblade, so whatever. Now, let's see. Anything else that I can go over with here? I don't think so. And so we'll go over the abilities, and then I'll show my stats here. And so, as you can see on my front and back bar, I'm not running Crit Surge. Mainly the reason for this is I don't crit a lot. And if you pull up Storm Calling here and go to Crit Surge, while active, dealing critical damage heals me. I don't do much critting, so it's kind of pointless for me. I'd rather put something else on the bar that I can use. So on my front bar, to get, since I don't have this, I'm not getting my major sorcery. And so on my Shocking Soul, which is a crafted ability here, which is a scribed ability, I use Shocking Soul, which deals a little bit of shock damage, and it also will, since I don't run pets, it will also do a little shock damage to enemies around, and also grants me my major sorcery, major brutality, and major sorcery. So if we go here after I get out of combat, go to the Scribing Altar here. This is what it is. It's just Wield Soul, shock damage, class mastery, and brutality. You can go with Sage Remedy or Lingered Torment if you want, or any of these other ones. I've been messing around. Sometimes I'll switch it up and do a little bit of both. This one's actually kind of decent as well. Puts an extra dot on them. And uses up a lot of soul gems. So you can kind of choose between. Lately I've been running this one though and liking it. It's not bad. So that's for the first ability. Then my second ability, I'm going to use Elemental Susceptibility. Mainly just to get my Major Breach. It also obviously afflicts them with Burning, Chilled, Concussed status effects. But it's a little added pressure, but it also gives me the Major Breach. Crystal Frags, you can go with either morph depending on what you want to do. I like this one. I've always liked this one. And so I run that. And then I got Streak on my front bar because I'm not really using Streak as a defensive. I'm more offensive with it. I use that as my stun. And then I also, casting this on my front bar sometimes will proc my frag. So like I can stun through the enemy, or streak through the enemy, stun them, turn around and hit a proc frag and then an execute, which leads me to my execute. I go Endless Fury because I don't feel like I need the extra damage. I'd rather the sustain by getting the extra almost 5k magic back by killing someone with this. And then, since I use this for my stun, I actually take the Flawless Dawnbreaker morph here. You can swap, honestly swap. You can use Energy Overload if you want AoE damage. You can throw the Greater Storm Atronach. If you're fighting big groups, you can use Absorption Field. So I'll swap that out here and there, but a lot of times you'll just see me running it with this. Main reasons is increasing my weapon and spell damage by 3% per fight. You know, I get a little 3% boost of my weapon and spell damage, which is going to increase not only my damage, but my healing. And then also, after activating this, if I hit a bunch of people with it, it increases my weapon and spell damage by another 300 for 20 seconds. So that's also going to not only boost my damage, but also increase my healing a lot. And so I just run this for the extra weapon and spell damage. And then on my back bar, I keep my Haunting Curse. And then I go with Hurricane to get my Major Resolve and Minor Expedition. And then I go with the Dark Conversion, not only for the sustain and the extra burst heal, but it also gives me Minor Berserk for 20 seconds after casting it. So a lot of times running into battle, I will start with doing dark conversion, along with just keeping it up periodically when I have time. One thing to note, though, is while you're doing this, it's a channeled ability, and people can bash you or interrupt you, which will cause you to be stunned. So just kind of know that and pick your timing correctly for when you're going to use it. And then I like Hardened Ward, obviously, because of the big shield. And then I like using Resolving Vigor, even though I have a Restoration Staff. I mainly use it for the heal ult, but I like Resolving Vigor because it gives me my minor resolve, also increasing my physical and spell resistance. And it's like a really big heal. It's a really good heal. And then I use Light's Champion. If I'm running in a group and they have some crit, then it'll increase their crit damage. I just like it for the extra heal. I'll throw it and then go full offensive because I know I'm getting a big burst heal for the next 5 seconds. And, you know, if I happen to crit, then it'll boost my crit damage too. So, I mean, it's not, you know, all loss. So, yeah, that's the abilities. A lot of times when I'm setting up to fight, you know, if I get a chance to buff first, I'll go here, here, and then here. And then I'll start with a light attack and a curse, switch to my front bar, and then I'll go light attack, Elisus, and then I like to go light attack here because now my damage is buffed. Or a lot of times I'll go light attack here and then light attack here to get my damage buff, and then I'll start opening up. And then you can see that procced my frag, so I can streak and curse. Anytime you hear that ching, that's my frag being procced. So a lot of times that's what I'll do, is proc my frag and then streak through them, use it to burst them down if I can. So again, if I was about to fight this guy, I would go here, I would go here, I would buff up here, then I would go here, 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 and then I would go full offensive. When I get a chance, I would streak through, turn around, buff drop my frag, execute if they're low health. And then if you need extra heals or want more damage, you can buff that by using the Dawnbreaker. So to get to my stats real quick here. When I am fully buffed up, when I'm fully buffed up for resistances, you can see my resistances are 24k, 24k, and that's without my blood spawn proc. So it'll be almost 28k right here. Physical and spell resistance are about 28k resistances when I'm fully buffed up. And then as far as my damage goes, if I'm fully buffed up, I get to 48,000, 4,800 weapon and spell damage for a short period of time to really go on a burst. And honestly, if I was to really try to burst that guy down, once I get my ultimate back here, you know, I would lead with these 2 buffs. I would lead with this buff, and then if I can, I would go here for the 20 seconds of that buff. And now I got a little more time where I'm 48, 64, then I go down to 42, and then you'll see it'll go down more to 36. So that's, and then you can see here with the lever, and I'm running the sharpened on the front end here. This is not what I was built for. You can see that I got 11k spell pen. And I like to run the Bewitched Sugar Skulls because that gives me the max health, max magic, and max stamina with a little bit of health recovery, because why not? And then you can see there that my health or my magic recovery, it's a little low, but if you know how to play Magic Sorcerer and you know how to use your dark conversion correctly, honestly, you really don't need much for magic recovery, I feel like. And then I like to keep my stamina recovery at or a little over 1,000 or around 1,100 stamina recovery, because as a magic user, I like to keep my stamina. I'll dodge a lot. That's why I use Well Fitted, and and then you can see, you know, like right there, boom, and I start to get my magic back, or my stamina back somewhat quick, and I'm not, you know, not a magic or a stamina character. And then just one other thing to note too is, like, if you're really taking a lot of damage, one thing you can do is try to sneak in a heavy attack on your resto staff bar. Not only will that give you a ton of resources back, but it'll also give you major mending for a little bit, which will increase your healing. So you could do, so you can see, like right here, I got a 3370 off my vigor, but if I do a whole heavy attack, now I'm at 4143. So it does boost your and that crit right there, I hit a 5k crit heal, you know. So if you're really taking a lot of damage, you can go here, then throw your vigor, and then go full open. You're gonna have a little bit more heals on yourself. So oh, and then one other thing I like to do, mostly I will use tri-stat potions for the main, but also you could use magic ones, like magic and spell damage buff one. Like, I wouldn't use that, it's kind of a waste of resources since you get your major sorcery with your spammable. But you could use this or max magic ones to just get your magic back, or stamina ones just to get your stamina back. But a lot of times when I'm going, I like to have this one here, because it gives me my minor protection, major expedition, and major vitality all in one. So I do like to keep this one up. Just it allows me to move a little faster while I'm running around, and it also keeps me a little tankier. So I'm reducing my damage taken. And really that's it. So you know, this was my very first build video I've ever done. So if you guys got a lot of information out of this and this build helps you, then I hope you'll leave a like and maybe subscribe for more content. I do PvP and PvE content. And if I missed anything, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Reach out in the comments. I will get back to you as soon as I see them, and try to help anybody out with anything that they need. But other than that, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys have fun on the Sorc build.